All right, what's up, everyone? We are live, and today I'm gonna do a very simple yet easy to understand Bitcoin trading and crypto trading fundamental kind of strategies and the kind of trading style that I use, right? And the challenge is to make it as easy so that grandpa and grandma can understand. Now, obviously, this full disclaimer, if your grandpa or grandma has never traded any traditional asset before other than buying a property and living in it for the rest of their lives, this does not apply to them. However, if your grandpa or your grandma has perhaps maybe even run a business, they are familiar with handling money, they are familiar with the traditional assets, or they have kind of bought a portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, okay, then this episode is for them. So I am now going to share with you the basic fundamentals of why do people even want to buy Bitcoin. And then at the same time, when it comes down to trading it, like, do you trade it with cash? Do you trade it with the alternative fiat stablecoin called USD Tether USDC? How does it all work? Why even bother to buy it? Is it going to zero? Should I even allocate a percentage of my liquid funds to it? You know, boy, you know, like basically in Asia, whenever my grandpa calls me, he'll call me boy, you know, because even though I'm like freaking almost 40 years old, he'll still call me boy. So anyway, if I was to say, grandpa, let me share a little bit about Bitcoin. Now, what the heck is Bitcoin, boy? You know, nowadays, all these online digital scams, digital currencies are very volatile, very scary. Grandpa doesn't love or appreciate these kind of things. Grandpa loves the slow, steady appreciation or growth that I get from my my top grade blue chip stocks that pay me a safe dividend every quarter, you know, when they declare. Of course, this year not gonna be so good, but you know, banks are always doing well regardless of bull or bear market. They always pay me a dividend. At the same time also, I prefer the dividends that are coming from my real estate investment trust. You know, can this Bitcoin that I've been reading about in the newspaper, when I watch it on CNBC, it looks very interesting, but I realize it's very speculative. Do you think that it's for me? Do you think that that I should buy a little bit? Okay, so grandpa, let's just be very honest and upfront. Bitcoin is a very exciting new killer application. So before I say that, wow, what is killer application, boy? Is it like when you transfer money like on a digital wallet, like that? Yes, grandpa, it's kind of similar, but however, there's a store of value element where you are probably familiar with gold, right, grandpa? They said, yeah, I am familiar with gold. I love gold. It's physical. I can hold it. I have quite a bit of it, actually. Okay, yeah, that I know. But you see, grandpa, you can't really transfer gold, can you? Could you actually put gold in your pocket? Like, could you carry a 1 kilogram gold? I would definitely not do that. I would never carry a 1 kilogram gold. I could get robbed. Well, exactly the case. Not saying that you can't get robbed if you own BTC, but you could at least hide it in a small little wallet. Okay. So this starts to get a little bit interesting already. So you're saying that I can keep it in my mobile phone? Grandpa has a mobile phone, you know. Okay. So let's say I give you a little bit of Bitcoin. Today, grandpa, it's your birthday. I'm going to give you 1 Bitcoin. Wow, okay. So you're going to let me try it out, eh, grandson? Yeah, sure. I'm always very generous. Definitely, I don't mind giving you 1 Bitcoin to try out. You have been a very good grandpa to me. You have taken care and really looked after me, especially when I was younger. So I'm going to give you 1 Bitcoin. Today, the Bitcoin price is 8,500 US dollars. Wow, so much! How you say? Okay, so I give you 1 Bitcoin, 18,500 USD. Today, I want to go and buy something, grandson. Can I go and buy something at the shop? Cannot, right? The problem with Bitcoin at the moment, not every single place can buy Bitcoin. You mean I cannot even spend on my favorite char kway teow, which is a very famous dish in Singapore? This dish only costs about maybe $3 to $5. But however, right now, as we speak, there are more and more local hawkers or small eateries that are allowing you to use a digital payment or digital wallet, but it's local, it's not an international. What I'm trying to speak of is a international acceptance where you can easily buy and sell Bitcoin, or at least you want to be able to use your Bitcoin. Now, a lot of people, especially the long folks who are just very long on Bitcoin, they will never think about spending Bitcoin. They would rather probably just swap it out to a US dollar currency. Wow, grandson, now a little bit confusing, like you're trying to tell me that there is a separate currency called US dollar tether. Then why don't I just use US dollars? Like, why I go through all the trouble? You know what? You're quite correct, because if I give you Bitcoin today, the difference is that it is private, Gong Gong, Grandpa, it is private. When I pass this Bitcoin to you, nobody knows that I'm giving this to you. Like cash what? When you give me cash or I give you cash, it's the same, isn't it? Nobody knows except Grandpa and I give you the cash, right? Yes, it's the same. And I feel that the value that we allow ourselves to provide each other should be private, don't you think so? So hence, there is another element, which is the privacy, right? When I'm giving you Bitcoin, I can safely say that nobody else knows except the blockchain. Okay, the blockchain knows, but nobody knows that I'm passing this amount to you. So as we know these days, digital payments are all surveillanced in that sense, right? If you do a bank-to-bank transfer, clearly party A, the bank, right, knows that party A is transferring to party B. From party B transfer to party C. Definitely there is surveillance. They know. They know that this amount of money and where is the origination. Right now, if I give you Bitcoin, to be frank, nobody will know. Okay? If I give it to you directly to your address. Now, that's the benefit that I think people have to understand. Do you want to allow people to know whether you're transferring them money? I think the moment that I trust you enough, I transfer this amount of money to you, that is the most important, okay? And obviously, I have to trust you enough that I'm doing it in this manner. It's no different from passing a $100 to $1,000 bill or a large transaction of cash to someone. There has been some communication prior to that, and I already trust you, hence I pass it to you. So now that we understand this whole new space is very new. So Grandpa, would you like to learn how to at least buy your first Bitcoin instead of me giving it to you? Okay, so you have to start your very first exchange account. Exchange account? Like, this is very confusing, Where to buy? Okay, son, where to buy? Okay, the very first one that you probably want to do is on Coinbase, right? You buy from Coinbase or Gemini. These two are the very initial ones that you buy from. Don't try anyone else at first. Yes, their fees are not always the best, but however, they are the most secure. You buy your very first Bitcoin, I think that's the most important thing. So Grandpa don't want to really spend 18,700 US dollars to buy one Bitcoin, Then how? I don't have so much cash. Grandpa, I know you have the cash, but you know what's the beauty of it? You can buy a fraction of it. Huh? What is a fraction? You mean like something like gold? Where gold has small little mini grams or 100 gram. I don't have to buy 1 kilo. I like 1 kilo, it's heavy. But if you buy one fraction of a Bitcoin, so basically there are a total of 8 decimal places. 8 decimal places, I only can count up to 4, Grandpa already can count up to 4 decimal places already, very solid already. You're telling me now that this Bitcoin can actually go to 8 decimal places? That means, what does that mean? Well, Grandpa, in our terms, we call it 1 Satoshi, okay? So that 1 Satoshi is, of course, a fraction of that 18,700. So what does that mean now? So if we talk about 1 Satoshi at the moment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, very confusing. Currently now, 1 Satoshi is a bit slow on this, guys. As you can see, it's not so friendly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, okay. So 1 Satoshi basically is now, holy crap, wait. How come the calculator can't even get, oh god, okay, wait. Give me a second, guys. Slow down already. See? That's what I'm telling you. Sorry, Grandpa. Give me a second. Live lesson, 1 Satoshi can't even... 8 times 18,700. Oh, okay. My god, the calculator can't even calculate. Give me a second. Too small already. Two, four, six. Huh, that's a bit odd. Wait, give me a second. The 1 Satoshi is now going to be... Wait, at this price, how come I cannot get the amount? It's too small already. Give me a sec, guys. There's something wrong with this. Wait, hold on. Okay, correct. Okay. Okay, Grandpa. Let's not do so small, okay? Let's try to do a decent amount. Okay, so Grandpa, let's just assume that you are buying a $100 worth of Bitcoin. That is 0.0055 at the current price, okay? At the current price is 0.0055. So right now, if you were to buy one Bitcoin you can't, but if you buy $100 worth, it is 0.0055. You're owning a fraction of it, and you can go up to 0.001. But however, I don't think exchanges allow you to buy so little. I think the minimum is still at least $10 to $100. So let's start with $100 first. So if you are to buy this amount, you can transfer this amount to a digital wallet. From there, that digital wallet allows you to transfer out elsewhere. I will help you out. So if you're going to be buying, next time, okay, it's very easy. It's very straightforward. There are market buy, meaning that you can just buy straight at the market price. You don't have to care about whether there's a technical indicator or whatever. There's nothing that you need to worry about because Bitcoin has enough volume for you to transact freely on these exchanges that I just mentioned. So Gemini and Coinbase. Now, the next thing is that you probably want to look at being able to store your cryptocurrency, right? So you store your cryptocurrency in a private wallet. Now, this private wallet, I feel that you need to probably look at two main brands: Ledger, right? That which is the main one of the main companies, Trezor, right? And I think there is other brands, but I think the main two brands is Ledger and Trezor. Okay, these are the two most popular cold wallets that I've been using for a very long time. Secure and so far so good. Okay, now if you talk about the actual trading, buying and selling, now Grandpa, I know that you enjoy buying and selling and trading stocks. So let me go to my trading view and start showing you a little bit of a thing or two. Okay, right, so let's go to this screen. Okay, so Grandpa, you are now looking at a chart of BTC. Okay, in a very short span of time, in a matter of literally in 2 years, okay, since 2018 to the current price now, back in this 15th of December 2018, Bitcoin was $3,329. Now we are at a staggering 18,733. We reached a relatively same all-time high, very close to the previous all-time high of $19,848. So 19,840. So in 2 years, basically we did almost 6, 12, 18. We did a 6x, okay? 6x. Okay, let's say 6x, guys, in 2 years. Now, based on the current trend, what we are trying to achieve, or what I feel that the market should achieve, is a stable price. Not like what it did back in 2017, where the whole market just crashed and gave up, right? So this is the part where grandpa might be a bit concerned, but you must share that with grandpa or grandma, right? So what happened was, back in 2017, okay, in December, it started the long trend of literally just going down, and the whole of 2018, in fact, it gave back most of its gains, but however, it did find a new price point. So the question right now is, where am I going to see this stability? Am I even going to, is the market going to achieve this stability? So grandpa, if I was to say that the market is going to, if Bitcoin is going to stay stable, I do not know that. I cannot confirm, because it depends on who is willing to buy Bitcoin at the current prices, and who are willing to hold at the current prices. So in the past, I believe that there are not many institutions or individual investors that have this capability. To be frank, a lot of the long-term hodlers have purchased way back in the 2011 to even pre-2017 period. Hence, they would have already released a portion of their Bitcoins if they knew how, right, and were savvy enough. I would have done that, right? Anyone who is savvy enough would have done that, because when you see such gains, you want to capitalize on it. So it's very normal, right? If you had already built up a position for many years, why wouldn't you release when there is a parabolic movement? It doesn't make sense, right, to hold on. So those who actually sold off naturally have enough cash to accumulate at various price points, because there are going to be instances where you have a feel of regret in a way that you kind of sold so-called too early, because there's so much news that could drive the prices up higher. But we always have to be realistic. Who is willing to buy Bitcoin at 18,000? I feel that there is a very small already a very small amount of folks or institutions that are willing to buy Bitcoin, one Bitcoin, at that amount. Now, you have to have a lot of liquidity for this to happen, and for you to really and you also want to have a very, very long-term time horizon. Literally, we're talking about 5 to 10 years, because right now, if you were to ask me as an institution to buy, I would question your reasoning to do so, right? Firstly, you had 3 to 4 years to make that decision. Right now, when Bitcoin is at 20, almost close to 20,000, you want to release your reserve funds, right? Even if it's 1% of, say, 2 billion, 3 or 5 billion or whatever, you want to release 1% to buy Bitcoin now. I feel that you're quite an idiot. Okay, that's I would really question you as part of the board of directors or whatever. I would really question you. So buying now isn't optimal. I would really prefer waiting, perhaps to a more favorable price, right? Or at least I would assume that you would know how to look at it. Because to be frank, a lot of people who are sitting on the higher uppers, right, they care about the bottom line, they care about scalability. To be doing this trading thing and kind of roughly looking at it, usually the technical analysis guys are looking at it. The bigger hats don't care about such stuff. Okay, so right now, if you were to say you want to buy Bitcoin, right, where would I be looking at? I would be more comfortable to look at Bitcoin at $12,000 to about $8,000. That would be a reasonable place where I would buy. Now, does it mean that I am guaranteeing that this price is going to reach? It may not. I would be very surprised that, because right now we are in price discovery mode. Nobody knows where exactly we are going to be headed. Are we going to really be headed upwards? Are we going to just, trend sideways for a while before the market decides it's a fair price? Now, this is the part where it takes a little bit of fundamental analysis, or at least you having a little bit of history or experience with it. When you are talking about people holding Bitcoin, you're talking about two main folks, okay? You're talking about organizations that have the ability to hold 100 to 1000 Bitcoin at a time, okay? So when you have 100 to 1000 Bitcoin, you're already a decent sized whale already, okay? Then you have the organizations that are holding 1000 and above, okay? Those who are holding 1000 and above, you must understand that there's only so much liquidity in the market to stomach that kind of volume. So there's only two ways for them to buy or sell at that large quantity. OTC, over the counter trading, where they are having a favorable ability to kind of source for liquidity outside of the exchanges. So most exchanges have the OTC market, which is over the counter, where you speak directly to a trader, right? Or basically a trader who will help you to execute that amount. And they will go and hunt and find the liquidity or the BTC that you intend to buy or sell. And it could be a better or you have to pay a premium depending on the availability of the particular amount, right? Of course, when you do larger, you get a better price for the buying or for your selling, meaning that you get charged less for buying or selling. It's either way. So over the counter is usually the place to go, and these over the counter trades are never registered on the exchanges. Whereas if you were to buy or sell, let's say for example, if you cannot find a OTC dealer to deal with that you can't really trust, you would use the exchanges, which is, for example, Coinbase, Gemini, Huobi, Binance. You would use these exchanges. You would create multiple accounts, and then you would want to also set up a algo bot, or at least a trading bot, so that you can kind of, okay, it really depends on what kind of a trader you want to be, or what kind of person you're trying to be. You want to purposely tank the market? Do you want to purposely tank the market, or you want to go in with little batches of orders? That way you don't spook the market that much, which is what you can do, right? So say you had 1000 Bitcoins and you wanted to, you wanted to capitalize right now, because clearly if you are like looking at this chart right now, and whatever the news say, how bullish Bitcoin, it's not the same in 27, it doesn't matter. Okay, I would be taking profit at the moment. I would want to lock in for my Christmas bonus, right? I have help for my clients. I was smart enough to ask them to buy at 3,000. I bought the dip at 4 to 5,000. I want to cash out at the moment. So that's what people will do. Hence, right now, you would see you're gonna see this price for quite a while, guys. You would really see the price go be around here for quite a while. Hence, once people stop selling, right, that's when, okay, that's interesting. If the prices stabilize, hence, okay, let's say if you see the price stabilize until at 16,000, for example, and you see that the volatility, so how do you decide the volatility? You would see the candles start becoming shorter and shorter and shorter. Okay, the volume can continue to be can be picking up and consistent, but you see the candle body getting shorter and shorter. That means literally no one really wants to buy or sell, right? You see a price consolidation. Hence, you can kind of have a little bit of courage and start buying into the market. Okay, so that's one way. Now the next thing is deciding. Like, obviously everybody wants to buy cheaper. Nobody wants to buy at this price. I'd be very frank. Anyone who's really buying at this price, to me, I find it's all very manipulated. It really doesn't make sense to me at all to buy Bitcoin at this price. It doesn't make sense. Whether you are dollar cost averaging or whatever the bullshit, I would dollar cost average anywhere here, not here. I wouldn't, guys. Like, you can go ahead, but I wouldn't. So I would tell my grandpa, you know what, grandpa? Let's take a chill pill. Let's enjoy our char kway teow and our coffee until the market decides what it wants to do. So the next thing I would say is being patient. A lot of people are now feeling the FOMO, okay? They feel like they need to get into the market because, wow, BTC is again at 18,000. I should have kind of listened to my friend or the news when it was like at the $3,000 to $5,000 mark. You know, there was so much fear in the market. For example, people telling me that Bitcoin most likely will go to zero. Now, for Bitcoin to go to zero, you must understand that there's too many market players that have a vested interest in it. For it to go to zero, you're killing off many players, and not many people can achieve that. Yes, there are attempts at killing the whole crypto or Bitcoin economy. But I think that's very far-fetched, and it may happen in a very different manner. For example, countries coming down hard on the exchanges, being very strict on KYC. So what that means? Okay, so strict meaning that obviously I tax you for speculating on Bitcoin. I punish you for buying and selling too quickly. Usually, if you buy and sell within or less than a year, I will tax you heavy, 40, 50, 60%. From there, you'll be more cautious. Okay, you'll be more cautious. You'll be like, okay, I probably won't do that. I would probably look at holding Bitcoin. So good and bad. Firstly, you're gonna have to stomach the volatility. Okay, because Bitcoin at the moment, our core crypto market is less than $1 billion. Okay, it's still so small. There's still so much potential for it to hit that range. For it to hit to the $500 billion mark, it took literally, guys, 3 years for it to finally reach back to the $500 billion market cap again. And at the time, just so you know, at the time it didn't hit 1 trillion. It hit 800 billion, and that was about it. It fell short of about 20% back in 2017. So you see, the potential is still there, guys. Right now, when I look back and I fast forward, you're seeing the fact that, great, in relatively 3 years, you see Bitcoin back at the same price again. The question is, why are we having why the bullishness? Why the bullishness? What's the cause? So I can kind of narrow it down to a few things. Firstly, gold hit an all-time high. Okay, it hit an all-time high of $2,000. So that's one. You have the alternative precious metal, which is silver, going up to a decent price as well. I can't remember what was the last price that it get. Was it $30 an ounce or something like that? So you have people who have made money in precious metals, possibly considering Bitcoin. Okay, then you have the stock market. All right, the stock market, the folks in the stock market, especially those have been riding the tech stocks, who have been riding the tech stocks up. You have your Tesla, you have your Google, you have your Facebook, you have Apple. You know, so at that time, because of COVID, sorry, not at that time, during this period, because of COVID, there are people who genuinely did take profit, guys, who literally moved out from stocks and moved into cash, right? And then when they moved into cash, they are probably thinking, what am I going to do, right? There is a possibility that this less than 1% could have trickled here. And I'm pretty certain it did. At the same time, you have companies who are considering and have already moved their reserve funds into Bitcoin. So this is the reason why you can see this movement. But I would safely say that they are smart money, guys. So you will see smart money doing this, buying around here, okay? Buying around this period. And now the question is, they are also wondering, can I sell? I don't think their mandate allows them to do that, because for them to capitalize on it so quickly, I doubt that is going to be the case. So you can be pretty certain that whatever volatility that is experienced here is not going to be from them. They're going to just probably hodl it for the next 5 years to even 10 years. Okay. Now, any kind of hedge fund, family office that bought during the low periods, and I would say this would be the best period. Okay, this period and the best period, usually they would probably be capitalizing here because they are kind of out of that 1 year range. So perhaps they can, and they have that mandate to be very flexible with their clients. So I would assume that would be the case if you see profit taking. Now, eventually, you're gonna ask yourself, should I trade Bitcoin? And I would say that if you're very new, I don't think you want to trade Bitcoin. Now, do you want to have basic technical analysis to at least identify when to buy? I think that is the basic that you need. So to me, I think the basic fundamental of learning how to trade You only need a few indicators. You don't really need that much. And I think the Fibonacci is one of the most powerful and the simplest technical indicator that most people know how to use and would want to just learn how to use. Just type Fibonacci and just go and learn, right? But the Fibonacci is very simple. You click from the lowest point of a particular period to the highest point of the particular period, and you try to determine where exactly the price decides to hold, where the price decides to break support or resistance, and then from then you decide for yourself, and then you can start determining and deciding where you want to queue to buy, or if you don't have that availability or that function, you can just buy when you set an alert and you see it. So for example, if let's say my grandpa wants to buy, I would tell grandpa, and of course I would naturally help him to set an alert for, say, this price. Okay, I think this price is a reasonable price to start, looking at least buying a little bit. That's at the 11,589 mark, right? To say that it will hold around here is just too early. It's too early to say that we will hold the $16,000 mark. It's just so far-fetched that it doesn't. I would be surprised. I would be very surprised. But sure, why not? This is crypto, right? Anything is possible. So I would say that, okay, 11,400 is a fair price. Now, why do I say that that's a fair price? Because from the Fibonacci, and most traders, institutional trading and everything, hedge funds, whatever you want to call it, they will use Fibonacci, guys. They are always using Fibonacci. This is one of the most powerful indicators. So you don't have to go to some guru workshop for you to know how to do this. Just use any kind of free application. Just draw the damn line from the lowest point in a decent time horizon, guys, because you want to use at least daily so that you have a broader. Don't use the short-term time frame. When you use short-term time frame, you're looking at very short-term trades, which I'm not advocating. I always do swing trades. My trades are long. Like it can be 1 week to 1 month to even 3 months before I even close the position, right? I'm not here to tell you that, wow, you can make money instantly, or you can make money tomorrow in a 24-hour time frame, make millions of dollars or whatever shit. You can, but you have to have a certain skill set, and you need to know exactly what you're doing. For example, using leverage, all this kind of stuff comes into play. Do you even know how to position your trades? Do you know how much to buy? All these things are very important. So keep it simple. Let's do plain vanilla, meaning that I'm going to buy $100 and that's it. Okay. So let's say I was to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. I would personally, right now, with the kind of experience that I have, I would want to buy at $11,600. Now, would I change my tone? Would I change when will I decide to change? Okay, if I see that Bitcoin is holding in the next 3 months at the current price point, wherever it is, I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody can predict, guys. Anybody who is trying to predict just wants to obviously gain enough followers. I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to be that person. I'm going to keep it very conservative. I'm going to wait and see. So let's assume that this will be the new range. Okay, let's assume that 16,000 to 20,000 is going to hold. Okay, that's where, if let's say that's the new price, then fine. I will consider the new price, but only after 3 months. Then we come and talk. Okay, because if that is not the case, I don't have to buy. People are too emotionally charged, especially when it's so-called a new asset class to them. They will always tend to be the all-time high buyer because they see so-called everyone else making money, but those people who are everyone else have actually been holding the position for a very long time. You suddenly want to come in so late to the party, you expect to have the most fun. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen, guys. So try to be realistic in that sense. Now, after you have used the Fibonacci, now you can sit back, relax, set some alerts at the price points. Now, how do we determine where to set the alert? Very simple. Do you see all the nice little lines that are drawn here? Yeah, guys. So you just have to mouse over this, and just let's say, for example, if 9,600 is the price, then you just set an alert for 9,600. Now, if you are a little bit eager then it will be 11,500, right? That's the two price points that I can safely recommend would be at least the strongest support for this current market trend. I don't see it suddenly holding 16,000 because there's no price history that firms up that that happened, right? So where will be the best, so-called best price support? Naturally, the best price support will always be where it bounces, right? So, okay, this is one of those unique cases. Bounce, 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 suddenly break below support, the next thing you know, it went below. So you see, Bitcoin does all this kind of shit because there's just so much market manipulation. There's just people all the time capitalizing on all the Timmies who are on leverage, right? Who are just gambling at 100x leverage, 200x if that's even available. Of course, naturally, if there is people who are speculating with leverage, definitely there will be the opportunity to kill these people. They will kill it off. They will liquidate your account, and you are open to it. So for me, I never play this kind of stuff. I will never touch the leverage unless I'm so certain. And even if I do, it'll be only maximum 3 times. So meaning that I'll have enough of a buffer. What the volatility will just be so, even how big the volatility, it will never take out my whole position. And I would pick, obviously, the best support levels during that historic period to open the trade. I wouldn't be opening 100x at this point and hoping for the best, right? I'm just being an idiot, right? Now, what's the other flip side? The other flip side is that a lot of people at this point of time are definitely going to go short. So if there's enough transparency, for example, people are deciding to go short, meaning that they anticipate that the market is going to go down, right? So if they anticipate the market going to go down, they're going to short the market, right? So they're going to decide that, oh, okay, because historically, Bitcoin should be going down, right? Because where's the road? Where's the railroad that says that it's gonna go to 36,000 or 50,000, where all the McAfees, whatever the folks who have always been trying to get you to buy the Bitcoin higher and higher. Where's that? Right? Your Mike Novograds that was saying that Bitcoin could be 50 to 100,000. When they say all this kind of stuff, bear in mind that there is a incentive for it. There's always an agenda behind it, and that agenda is very simple. That agenda is that it's what they call it. It's basically to kind of show their influence as well. Firstly, they are not concerned what the retail market does. They know that their clients are the big boys, okay? Very deep pockets. So they have to come out and look as a spokesperson, ambassador, an influencer of sorts. That way, it kind of builds a reputation. I'm always being seen on public. I'm always being interviewed on CNBC, right? I'm always interviewed on Bloomberg. So human beings are very normal. They like influence. Like, no one gives a shit about my channel because my channel is a small ass channel, right? So being a small ass channel, naturally, yeah, this guy, I've seen him before, but he's not interviewed on CNBC. Neither do you see him on Bloomberg. So I'll just listen to him. But you know what? The fact that I have been trading in this market for quite a while, I definitely give the most clear-cut information. I don't have any incentive to get you to buy, because when I get you to buy or sell, I don't make anything. I seriously don't make anything. It's just more of you being educated, and I'm happy. So that's the most important thing. So right now, if you were to say what are people intending to do, I would more or less say that people are intending to short. And where do you kind of trace all this? So there's a website called Datamish. Okay, wait, let me check to see. Datamish. I hope I spelled it correctly. Yep. I haven't used this in a while because I don't use. Okay. So this is the Datamish site that kind of lets you see, okay, how many people are long, how many people are short, how many people got liquidated. It's quite fun, guys, to kind of watch all the time. So okay. So apparently, right, a lot of people are long. So is it the percentage longs and shorts? So you have a big percentage of people going all out long, 81.79% going all out long, and then you only have an 18.21% going short. So basically right now the market is relatively bullish on BTC. Okay, which is okay, right? Everybody has a sentiment. Now, if you're seeing this, okay, Bitfinex total long and shorts liquidation. This is quite funny, where you will see during a, I would assume, 24-hour time frame, should be a 24-hour time frame, how many long positions? Sorry, wait, why is this? Oh, right. Wow, shorts are red. Sorry, shorts are green and longs are red. Okay, so 24.1 BTC has been liquidated from the long side, and then after 32.1 BTC has been liquidated from the shorts. Okay, so these are basically positions, right? The positions, and I think you obviously can adjust the time frame if you want to. Right, so the same thing here, you can see on BitMEX, which is the other most popular. I don't think they are the most popular. I guess BitBay has kind of taken a little bit of their thunder, but all in all, they are still one of the largest, run by Arthur Hayes, of course. And yeah, so right now, so as you can see the total liquidations, longs and shorts. So if this is something that interests you, right, you can click on the time frames here. You can even choose between, like, 190 days or whatever you want, guys. You can just check from here, okay, right? So you can check here. Okay, so that being said, okay, wow, this is all relatively intense. Can I do something simpler? Can I buy and hold and earn Bitcoin? Okay, so yes, you can. Right now, there is the availability of you being able to lend your Bitcoin. So on exchanges, there's two ways that you can do it. Most of the time, on average, your APY, or annual premium yearly, is it? No, annual percentage yearly or some, okay, let's just say the interest that you're going to be getting, okay? You're going to be able to earn about 6% if you are having a flexible lock-in, or more than 6.5% if you're locking in for a certain period, okay? So let's just assume 6%, okay? That's the market average. For US dollar Tether, which is the so-called fiat version, you can get up to 10% per APY. So those are considered like your interest rate. So most exchanges are giving you a better than usual return. So why am I telling you this? Because maybe, just maybe, if you're okay to hold Bitcoin, right? You're okay to hold. It's a amount of money that you don't need for the short term. You can consider this option. Now, to do it on a credible exchange is all that I can be able to recommend. You do not want to go and put your Bitcoin, your precious Bitcoin or Ethereum, or even your stable coin, say your USD Tether or your USDC, right, on a exchange that is very new. Now, the problem with that is that people are very easily attracted by the high interest rate, right? And when you're too easily convinced, what happens is that you may put it onto an exchange that you're not very familiar with, and end of the day, you're going to potentially might lose your Bitcoins. You might lose your Bitcoins because they have a lack of security. At the same time, there is really very little that one can do when an exchange that is holding your Bitcoin says that they lost your coins, right? It's all about integrity at the moment and reputation. So I don't really want you to do that. So I would rather you focus on doing that on, branded exchanges. For example, Binance. If you can do it on Gemini, if you can do it on Coinbase, if you can do it on Huobi. These are the few places that I can say that you can safely lend your Bitcoin and get an interest. Say you are not interested in the trading because you do not want to be taxed for short-term capital gains, especially if you're buying and selling too quickly. So that is available. So these are the few things that you want to focus on. Now, the next episode, I want to cover whether to trade trade crypto to get more BTC, or just fully focus on fiat BTC. So that will happen on the next episode. And then from then, everyone will probably, you feel free to comment below. What have you been doing? Has altcoin trading been beneficial for you? Like when you trade altcoins and then you were able to build a lot of Satoshis, or you have been solely doing leverage on Bitcoin and you've been relatively successful. I'd like to hear from you. right? I know that there are gonna be a lot of stupid scammer posts that are gonna come down at the bottom. For some reason, my community has been lacking in putting out their comments. Maybe they've watched my content for too long, and there are not many new members that can really comment because they're so new that they don't even know what to ask. But yeah, if you've been trading altcoins for some time and you had some success in building your BTC, let me know. And my take will be very, very different, guys. I have a very, very different strategy, and a very simple one at that. So yeah, all that will be revealed in the next live stream or video. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Give this video a like, or even subscribe to the channel if you felt that it was of value to you. And at the same time, guys, don't bother with any crypto workshops, guys. Most of the stuff that I teach has already been taught. And at the same time, just type in whatever you need to type on YouTube and you will be able to learn it for free. All right, see you guys, and see you in the next live stream.